Oakland, California is so fortunate to have received 515 additional Housing Choice Vouchers as part of the American Rescue Act. And that is why we have a call to action for property owners, for landlords, to please consider making one of your units available to a Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher holder. And the Housing Authority here in Oakland is making that very attractive. If you lease a new unit to a Housing Choice Voucher holder before the end of this year, that's December 31st, 2021, you will receive a $1,100 bonus. $1,100 Merry Christmas for you if you put a new unit into the use by this amazing public-private partnership. On top of that, you can receive up to a $2,200 no-interest loan to make needed repairs, and you'll have a guarantee that if that tenant moves out, but you continue to rent that unit to a Housing Choice Voucher holder, the Housing Authority will pay the rent for up to 2 months when that unit is vacant. That is incredibly valuable for property owners and landlords during these uncertain times of the pandemic. We hope even more Housing Choice Vouchers are on the way because of the Build Back Better bill that is pending Senate approval. But this innovative public-private partnership allows government to bridge the gap between what tenants can afford and what the rents cost in expensive Oakland, California, and also gives those tenants the dignity of choosing their own place to call home. I do remind you that in Oakland it is illegal to discriminate against people who are holding those vouchers, but the Housing Authority has made it very attractive to actually become part of this great partnership. Our goal together is to get 200 new landlords that have never taken a Housing Choice Voucher in the past to actually sign up and become part of this partnership to house Oakland and house America.
Thank you so much, Mayor Schaaf. You know, when I think of our mayor, I think of our own champion for affordable housing, not just locally, but nationally. The fact that, Mayor, you have made sure that Oakland is in the room and at the table for all the initiatives, including House America, as well as the regional initiatives to make sure that we use all the resources that come through the door. You inspire me, you challenge me, and I am grateful for you modeling fearless and innovation leadership for all of us here in the city of Oakland. You know, today is a rally. Today we issue an invitation full of enthusiastic energy to encourage property owners and landlords in our great city to join us and be part of something good. Today we rally together as a demonstration on the strength of collaboration, the spirit of determination, and an effort to achieve the goal of ensuring that every child, every parent, every elder has a safe place to lay their head when they go home at night. You know, a great home is the foundation of health, which our mayor has said many, many times. It's a place where an adult can dream and learn and get together for their own business. It's a place where a child can study in safety. It's a place where an elder can relax and think on the benefit that they've given to the community and enjoy the spirit that they walk in creatively. A home is our refuge, and it is the place that we're grounded so that we can be part of the community that we call Oakland. At OHA, we seek to ensure that every individual and family who participates in the Housing Choice Voucher program has access to safe, decent, and dignified housing. A home, a place of comfort and warmth. And so today, I invite those landlords who have been thinking about it and wondering, should I do this? And we say yes to you. Accept our invitation and be part of something good. To join the partnership as a landlord for the families and individuals who now have a Housing Choice Voucher is an amazing thing, because we've taken lessons learned We've gotten input from our landlords like the Johnson family who joins us today, and we are determined to be better partners with you through incentives that are monetary incentives, assistance when you are repairing your unit, assistance when you have a resident move out and welcoming a new Section 8 tenant inside, assistance with education on current laws and current opportunities there are for landlords, and support as you work with the families who are also your partners to be great members of their community. So this is our invitation to you landlords. Go on our website, hit on those links, and join us as partners. In addition to these benefits, you also get the value of being part of something good, knowing that as we drive our streets, that we see less and less families who are seeking housing, and we know that more and more families are part of our strong Oakland community. Today is possible because of partnerships, as I said, and I have a few people to thank. First, our phenomenal Board of Commissioners who support the staff's creativity and innovation to ensure that we continue to enhance the work we do. Supervisor Keith Carson, who in his own right has done much to support affordable housing, such as the creation of AC Impact for our neighbors who need permanent supportive housing here in the county. Our county leaders, Colleen Chawla and Carrie Abbott. And of course, our director of our Leased Housing Program, Michelle Hasan, and the phenomenal Leased Housing team, our policy team, and our resident services team. But most importantly, I want to thank our legacy landlords, who without you, Oakland would not be able to be a community as vibrant as it is, because you have ensured that thousands of families have a safe place to call home. And to our current and newly welcomed Housing Choice Voucher families, we invite you to participate in the fullness of what a Housing Choice Voucher brings you, so that you too can carry the baton, pay it forward, and be part of something good. And with that, I'd like to first invite up our Director Michelle Hasan to continue this program, but I also want to take a moment that as we celebrate and rally doing something good together, that we just take a moment to think of those who have experienced travesty in our recent weeks. We think about how to make sure that their lives is championed and made a spark, and we can do it by working together to make this holiday safe and welcoming for everyone. And with that, I invite Mrs. Hasan. Michelle?
Thank you, Mayor Schaaf and Director Wells. And so what are we hoping to gain today with this message? Our goal is to get 200 more owners on the program by March of 2020. I mean, we always deal with data here at OHA, so we have a very specific goal that we hope to gain in the coming months. So I want to just talk specifically about many of the incentives we have. So the relaunch of our new owner incentive now includes owners who are already on the program. So we will pay $1,000 to every owner who executes a new HAP contract here at OHA, which means they're leasing to potentially a new tenant or a tenant that's moving on the program. Additionally, what we offer are pre-inspections. Normally in Housing Choice Voucher programs, you have to have a tenant before the Housing Authority will inspect your unit. We will do an inspection for an owner that is good for 120 days, and they can then bring the tenant in and start the tenancy process. A new incentive that we've launched is a repair incentive. So for the move-in inspection, owners many times after we do a Housing Choice Housing Quality Standard inspection find repairs that are needed. We are going to help owners get those repairs done so it's not a barrier to families leasing a unit, up to $2,250. We also have a re-rent vacancy loss incentive, which is very popular. I think it's one of our most popular. Owners tell us that one of the most difficult times for them is when a tenant moves out. They're not getting rent. They're not getting any subsidy. Well, what we have agreed to do, and this was an earlier incentive, that if you re-rent to a Section 8 family 6 months after another Section 8 family has moved out of your unit, we will pay you 2 months of HAP. So that is a great incentive for landlords who are trying to get their units turned. They have less, they're losing less money during that period. So these are the incentives that we've launched. And additionally, I want to just showcase that we have an owner services team here at OHA that is totally focused on owners. We do everything from the rent increases, move-in inspections, complaints. We do presentations for owners who want to know about our program. So we actually have a dedicated team for owners here at OHA. I want to point out that Tila Carpenter is here. She is the assistant director over that part of our agency and this department, and we are really growing that component here at OHA. I'd like to, at this time, bring up our owner here, and maybe you all can come up and talk a little bit about your experience. I understand that the Johnson family has 45 families that they are assisting here on our program, and we can't thank you enough for that partnership. Ms. Johnson?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And I say good morning. I also say we, and when I say we, I'm speaking for the Johnson family. It's three of us who really run our rental services to families. Bryant is, and we all have our own kind of responsibilities, and we kind of try to help run it by staying in our lanes, but also filling in when there is a need to fill in when there is a shortage in either one of those positions. So Brian usually takes care of pretty much the administrative part of the business, and I'm usually just kind of sitting back and making sure that the two of them are doing what they need to do. My other son, Gerald Jr., he handles the maintenance, and they know that the three of us have to be amenable and reaching out to families all in a positive way at the time, looking out for those families and wanting to provide them with the best services that we can offer to them by keeping our units in first class kind of situations and updated appliances and all those kind of things. So when we serve our families, what we're serving them is what we would have for our own selves. So it's all first class services that we provide to our families. And again, we do serve 45 families. And it certainly has been a pleasure serving those families. And Housing have been very supportive to, when we reach out to them when we have any kind of concerns. They've been amenable in working with us to help us provide those services that we need to provide first-class services for all our families. And again, I said that Brian takes care of the administrative part, so when I have questions about anything that goes on with the property, Brian is the person that I make the first contact with. And again, what we're providing is what we really feel truly from our heart that is a service that we would use for our own families. So Brian, is there something that you can add to this?
I would like to say that we deal with Section 8 clients, non-Section 8 clients, and from our personal experience, it's nothing wrong with taking on a Section 8 tenant. Section 8 tenants are very responsible, the ones I have come in contact with. They take care of business just like a non-Section 8 tenant would. So don't feel scared to take on a Section 8 voucher holder. It could definitely work in your benefit. Thank you. That's it.
And the one thing I would like to add to that, and I may have said it already because I'm getting at that age where I do kind of have a tendency to repeat myself, but I feel like the young people do the same thing. So I'm comfortable with where I am. But what so far we count it a blessing as well as a privilege to be able to serve families and getting housing in the city of Oakland.
Most definitely.
How's everybody this morning? This afternoon? My name is John Talbert. I'm the tenant with the voucher program. I'm also a senior citizen. I just turned 62 October. I just made it into the station. I'm one of the youngest there. And I'm also a low income Section 8 Social Security, and I'm a veteran. And the voucher program is first I'd like to forgot to thank God and the best mayor ever. And I think that God bless the Oakland Housing program. It's excellent. I don't know who hires the staff, but they got an outstanding staff, and whoever hires the staff should get a bonus. And so, as far as I'm still in shock. My head is still spinning because they do their work so fast. I thought because of the pandemic and everything, it was going to be a long, drawn-out process like everything else. And they got me in. They don't mess around. They want to fill these spots. If you're trying to get in the program, when you come down there, come correct. Have your paperwork in order. Have all your proof of income, your voucher, your money order for your security deposit. If you want a parking spot for your car, have your insurance, have all your paperwork, they'll put you in.
Yeah.
Okay? A lot of people come down here with no paperwork. They want to write bad reviews and bad mouth the staff because they didn't have their paperwork in order. And they don't have time to hold up the game for people to get their paperwork in order. So when you come down there, come correct. And this housing thing, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And you really don't realize how much of a blessing it is when you fall on times like this. This is the worst time to be homeless. With the pandemic and everything, you need to be inside a house where you're safe, at least from the pandemic. It's a serial killer out on the loose. So, with that, I want to thank Ashley. I wanted to give her a plant like the one she has, but she said that they can't take gifts, which I think is wrong. But then you got haters that, that the best workers will be getting all the gifts, and the one haters don't like that. And then Ashley, if she was to get flowers from every tenant that she helped, she would have a flower shop the size of Walmart. So with that, God bless everybody, and thank God for the Oakland Housing program.
And you heard it, the enthusiasm, the energy. Landlords who are out there, this is your opportunity to be something and be a part of something good and provide a home, a place for safety, a place for comfort, a place where families can flourish, to one of the 515 families who have received a Housing Choice Voucher. We invite you to join us. We invite you to be part of our partnership. We thank our current landlords, and we're enthusiastically welcoming you to be part of something good. Contact the Housing Authority today, and let's get Oakland housed. Thank you, and happy holidays.
So thank you, everyone. That concludes our program this morning, and we just appreciate everyone coming out and hearing about our new incentive program, and we hope to see many more owners on the program. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, yeah, I'm Natalie from the Oakland side, and this is a question for either of you. Can you put that 515 vouchers sort of into context? How many are actually active in Oakland already? How long is the waiting list? And have those 515 been distributed already?
Sure. So we have 13,107 Housing Choice Vouchers allocated in the city of Oakland. The 515 were awarded to us in May of 2021, and we started leasing those in August. And so currently we have 38, I believe, leased, and we have over 160 out searching at this time. The way the 515 vouchers work is that they come through coordinated entry, the continuum of care referred to the Oakland Housing Authority through the Carrie Abbott's Office of Healthcare for the Homeless. And so we are just actively working with the county and our community partners to get those 515 vouchers leased in a timely manner. Any other questions? Patricia?
I would just add, thank you, Michelle, that the 515 are part of the House America program. So it's the effort by HUD and Secretary Fudge to help families who are currently at risk or experiencing homelessness get housed. And so this is part of a larger initiative. We heard our mayor talk about the Build Back Better program. And so I'm going to use this opportunity to enthusiastically invite everyone to be part of the advocacy going on so that it passes Senate and lands on the president's desk, because those opportunities, what comes in that package, would bring additional vouchers to the city of Oakland and all of our cities, but certainly here where we have not just the 515 folks who are receiving vouchers through the county's program, but hundreds more who would benefit and be able to flourish with a Housing Choice Voucher. And that's what makes this effort so important, this effort of being a part of something good so important, because the funding is here in our great city. All we need to do is establish the partnerships with additional landlords, those 200 landlords that we're inviting to the table, to make sure that all the families with a current voucher gets housed. And then together, like we did with our awesome Johnson family, we can encourage an even bigger network of partnership for landlords to join our program. So I wanted to add that piece because this is national, doing something good on a local level here in the city of Oakland.
Hi, Sarah with KQED. I just wanted to get you to, if you could, recap that one more time. So you said there's 13,107 people who have vouchers
13,107 allocated vouchers in the city of Oakland.
before the 515?
That's correct.
And the 515 was in May,
Yes,
and 38 of those 515
have leased.
Have leased.
Yes.
And were all of those 13,107, like how many of those have homes versus just have the vouchers and haven't vouchers?
So there are always a number of families that are searching. Remember, voucher families can move within the city of Oakland at any time. So at any time, we may have 130 families that are searching for housing in addition to the 515 that are searching.
Okay, so you have about 600 people
Yes.
who are searching
Yes.
for landlords.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
What is the reluctance of people to, she was saying it's illegal not to accept them, but apparently if you're asking for people to accept them, there has to be some reluctance on the part in the past. What's kind of at the basis of that?
So I think one of the things we know about in Oakland is that the available units are in short supply. So many of our voucher holders are in competition with just regular folks looking for units. So that's just a natural part of the market here. I think it's required for the Housing Authority to really educate people about what this program is about and all of the services that we offer. Certainly there's a stigma about poor people who are trying to find places to live. But what we know is that many of our families work just like you and I every day. Many of our families are seniors on fixed income. So the complement of families that we serve look a lot like the people in this room. And so I think it's just about education and outreach and just improving that. And we have many partnerships in the city of Oakland. Ms. Wells?
Yeah, I would echo what Michelle just said, and also add that the subsidy program has a high standard of quality for our units. They're called housing quality standards. There are specific requirements for inspections and how long it takes for an inspection to come. But that's, again, the beauty of this program, because with our benefit package for our landlords, we've reduced a lot of that. And so we've allowed landlords to have an inspection before they've actually identified a family. We have some gap funding in there when there's a person moving out and a new Section 8 person moving in, as well as assistance with that loan that was referenced for repair to units in order to pass those housing quality standards. So that's a little bit different from being a traditional landlord in market, where we do, for all the families that we serve, have the need to make sure that those boxes are checked. with our benefit program and be part of something good. We've reduced that, we've made it more flexible, and Michelle and her team are prepared to assist landlords along the way, as well as the education tools. So I think that also adds to some of the hesitancy, because it is a program that's regulated, and we've tried to make those regulations as easy to manage as possible.
Would somebody who decided to do this, would they in some ways be having to accept less rent than they might if they were just in the open rental market?
No, absolutely not. Our rents are tiered based upon the fair market rent, and Michelle, I'm going to ask you to do the mechanics of explaining that for us.
Sure. So what HUD requires of housing authorities is that they do what's called rent reasonableness. So we look at rent reasonableness for units coming on the market, a 1 mile radius, non-voucher units, and we take that and then we average that and offer that rent to owners. Now HUD does publish fair market rents each year, and they did go down in the ones that were just published for fiscal year 22. And we take that and we offer a reasonable rent to owners. We are willing to negotiate with owners up to that fair market rent, but our goal is really to help families get in units. At move-in, a tenant can pay up to 40% of their income for rent. So there is an additional 10% that allows a family some affordability, but we will do what we can to help families get in units within the bounds of the program and the fair market rents.
But just to be clear, the bounds of the program may require someone, could potentially cause, in other words, a landlord may be faced with a decision of having to rent for a little bit less to somebody like this because of the bounds of the program than they might if they just were just taking whatever's out there right now?
Certainly, that could be a decision that an owner makes, but I say that what we offer is very expedient payment on our HAP payments. We continue to pay HAP even if a tenant comes on a difficult time. We will continue to pay that HAP to the owner as long as the tenant lives in the unit. We have lots of services for owners and residents. We have a family community partnerships department that partners with our families to help when they have barriers. So I think we offer so much to owners and residents in the city of Oakland that we can overcome some of those barriers. But it does take education with the owners and the Oakland Housing Authority.
We like to think that with each one of the prospective tenants, you come with the team that comes along with the Oakland Housing Authority. So there's the tenant that you're in your relationship with your lease, and then there's the Oakland Housing Authority team there too. The Oakland Housing Authority team there to support our tenant and our landlord. So it truly, we look at it as a partnership, and all the innovation you see is our goal to make sure that we welcome more landlords and we help families get housed.
What is the typical profile of a person who would be renting? Is it a single individual, a couple, a family? What should somebody expect with that?
Well, as Oakland goes, so does the Housing Choice Voucher program go. We serve, typical is kind of a strong word, and Michelle might be able to give some of the percentages, but we welcome individuals, we welcome veterans, we welcome folks who are challenged with different disabilities, we welcome families with children, so we serve everyone. We know that here in the city of Oakland, one of the things that we're seeking out are landlords who have properties that are 1 bedroom and 2 bedrooms because families have gotten smaller. But I think it's a complement of families from all over the nation. And Michelle, do you want to talk a little bit about percentages to answer the question?
So one of the things we know here in Oakland is that we have a very high percentage of individuals on fixed income. And we know that we have a large population of seniors. Almost 35% of the families we serve are individuals on a fixed income or seniors. So generally those are individuals who are in 1 or 2 bedrooms. They may have a live-in aide that's assisting them, but that is really a huge component of the families that we serve.
What would you say is the biggest advantage that you offer, that this program would offer to somebody who might be considering this?
So I would say we are ready to serve. And so we are ready to help owners address barriers or conflicts they have with their tenants. We're able to offer them through the year to make sure that their units meet housing quality standards, so we know that the unit meets a federal guideline. We also
would your program pay to have those kind of repairments made, or those kind of repairs or
So
changes made?
for a move-in, one of our incentives we've launched is $2,250, up to $2,250 to get over the barrier of an HQS inspection and the findings. And so we will pay an owner, reimburse an owner, up to $2,250 at a move-in if it means that they could not rent the unit because of a repair that we've asked them to make. So we think that, I don't know anyone else who's doing that. And I think it's a huge incentive for owners. Sometimes, you know, we have a lot of mom and pop, small owners who own lots of units, and that barrier of $2,200 could mean they just don't bring anyone on the program. And it may be a window that needs to be repaired. It may be smoke detectors that are required. And so we're here to really address that and make sure it's not a barrier for them. And the owners that we work with, they really appreciate those incentives. Sometimes it's what gets them through, you know, deciding to continue to rent with us.
And Michelle, would you talk a little bit about the fact that it's a pilot program and what we hope to achieve with some of those benefits?
So our goal, as I think we continue to say, is getting up to 200 more contracts through this new launch. We started the owner incentive at $500 in 2017. And so now, and it was only for new owners. Now what we're saying is every new contract, we will pay $1,000. And so we think that broadening that will just be a positive experience for folks who are working with us now, but who may not have thought about working with us. We, as I said, have a dedicated team here for owners, willing to answer their questions, send out informational packets. So we're all in with this process, and we just want to really make the Oakland Housing Authority showcased about our commitment and the seriousness that we take with making sure people get off the street who are homeless, and really supporting the owners who are open to doing that. So this is one of the reasons we relaunch these incentives.
And what's a fair market rate for a one-bedroom?
Fair market rate, it's in the 1,900 range right now for one bedroom. And so, you know, if you look in the paper, one bedrooms are renting for $2,200. And so, you know, part of what we do with owners is talk about how to leverage that $150 difference with the services we offer to them. We have a program compliance team here that'll work with owners when they come across hard times with their tenants and try to, you know, offer some case management through difficult situations. So we are a full service department. And again, many owners do tell us the reason they decided to come join our program is because we partner with a lot of nonprofit agencies here in the city of Oakland. We do a lot of referrals, but we hope to keep people housed, and we hope to continue to build the program by getting new owners to join.
You were saying that there is sometimes some reluctance to people to get involved with people with very low income, and some of the, you know, when you're talking homeless individuals, you see a wide range of people with various problems. Once someone is housed in this, if they start having a problem with the tenant, what would their obligations be under this program, and how much help or hindrance would they have in trying to deal with it by being a part of the program?
So for the 515 vouchers, there is some post-lease-up case management that is available through the community partners. I don't know if Carrie Abbott would like to come up and talk about that, but I mean, she and I work together. So there's some post-lease-up case management just to make sure people are feeling comfortable in their new unit. We have some lease-up packages we're providing to those new tenants. Be careful.
Sorry.
No problem.
I think we almost had that here.
So there's some post-lease-up case management that will be provided to the 515 families through this, through the emergency housing vouchers. Additionally, each family is assigned to a housing assistance representative here at OHA that looks at any income changes, program obligation challenges the families might be having. So we know who those families are, and they are assigned to someone to help them once they lease the unit. The owners can also call our owner services team and see if there's any kind of assistance that's needed. And then ultimately we have a family and community partnerships department that offers lots of services and referrals for families who may be finding that they are having challenges.
And with these programs, it's all done with confidentiality, it's done with care, it's done with dignity. And so when Michelle talks about how our team identifies the families, all that's done keeping both the family's information confidential as well as our landlord. So it really is a lot of intentional work going in to make everyone feel welcomed and cared for, both the tenant and the landlord. Because the goal is to help families preserve their housing, our landlords to feel like they're part of something positive, and hopefully use it to inspire other landlords to come forward.